Hello, my name is Dianne Bilyak, and I am the Project Director of TransitNet. TransitNet is a program sponsored by the Arc of Connecticut. Before we start, I suggest you get something to write with and some paper to take notes, because we are going to cover a lot of ground. And remember, you can always pause and rewind if you need time to write something down or repeat a section. TransitNet consists of a website and brochure for individuals with disabilities, older adults, caregivers, and providers who want to learn more about what transportation options are available for them in Connecticut. The website is designed to be accessible and informative, and we also created a brochure for those who have limited access to the internet. The next resource will be this video, the content of which will be presented in 3 segments. Part 1 is called Public Transit First Steps. In this segment, Leslie Simoes, Executive Director of the Arc Connecticut, will go over some of the first places to start when you're new to public transportation. Part 2 is called What Does TransitNet Offer? Here, Leslie and I will briefly let you know about many of the options listed in the Transportation Resources part of the website and the brochure. And finally, Part 3, which is called Still Can't Get There From Here? In this final segment, I will address gaps in rural areas and how to begin working to get more services in your town. There will also be 2 short interviews conducted by Leslie, speaking to some people who have directly helped with this project.
So the ARC has been asked why get involved in transportation, and why we got involved in this and why we built TransitNet is really because of Jamie Lazaroff, who is one of my mentors, one of my heroes. He's a self-advocate, and he has often talked to me about why transportation is so important. He says to me, Leslie, I can get a job, I can get in my own apartment, but if I can't get from there to there, why even bother? For some, transportation is taken for granted, but without it, living a meaningful, rich life can be very, very difficult. And this is especially true for people with disabilities and older adults. Jamie was our co-project manager in round 1, and we were able to find out firsthand what people needed. One of the major issues was the lack of communication and information about transportation options that were available to the public. So we decided to build a website that was designed to have the major information in one place. And it was easy to use, and it would be helpful. It would allow people with disabilities and older adults increased accessibility to the variety of transportation options. It would ease the burden on families and guardians, and it would decrease transportation expenses for community-based service providers. It would increase dependence and self-confidence among those new to public transit. And so we thank Jamie. It was great to have Jamie involved in our project, and we are so glad to bring TransitNet to you.
When you're new to the world of public transportation, it can be difficult to know where to start. One of the goals of TransitNet is to give people a blueprint of first steps. Therefore, on the website, we created the Town by Town section, so you can find out if your town has any options available to you. Let me explain further. On the website, when you click on your town, you will find the contact information for some local and regional connections. If you don't have access to the internet, here are a few places to start. For older adults, the first place to call would be your local senior center and ask for the director. They can typically offer specific transportation information about vans, dial-a-ride, and paratransit. Because some of the transportation services may overlap for people with disabilities, it may be a helpful resource for them as well. Another option to try is your municipal agent for the elderly. Sometimes the senior center director and the municipal agent are the same person. This person assists those who are 60 and older by providing information and referrals to local, state, federal services, and benefit programs. Regionally, there's the Connecticut Association of Area Agencies on Aging, or C4As, which is split into 5 regions. If you call their 800 number, you can find out what region serves you. For an individual with an intellectual or developmental disability, you may have a case manager through the Department of Developmental Services, and that's another great resource. Also, there's Community Choices, which is split into 5 regions and offers services to individuals with disabilities. And you can call their 800 number to find out which region serves you. If you're an older adult or an individual with a disability, you can try your local social service agency as well. And finally, one of the greatest resources currently in our state is the Mobility Manager Program. There are 4 mobility managers in the state at this time. The Connecticut Department of Transportation is in the process of hiring the last one for the Northwest region. Individuals with a disability and older adults are eligible to use this service. Please note that mobility managers do not provide transportation, but they can help with application forms and travel planning. Mobility managers also provide ombudsman services to act as advocates and represent the interests of individuals who have transportation mobility needs and issues. The C4As, the Community Choices, and mobility managers will be discussed in more depth in the section called What Does TransitNet Offer?
Good morning, Leslie. How are you?
I'm okay, Bob, thanks. You have been a great asset to TransitNet, telling people about the website, handing out our brochures and our wallet cards when you speak. Could you tell us today why you think TransitNet is important to older adults?
Sure. First of all, TransitNet provides information important to seniors who either don't have a car or who no longer can drive. And it also helps caregivers who need public transportation to get to the job. Also, because the information is available on the internet, the site can be accessed any time of the day and also allows for single-stop access to resources. I also liked how the text was large and in a readable format. Finally, the brochure is a great resource for those who don't have computers or use the internet as a main source of information. It lists the telephone numbers that connect you to real people so you can ask questions and get assistance.
That's great to hear, Bob. We've worked really hard to access information and make it available to all individuals. So, thanks again, and I hope that you'll continue to advertise and talk about TransitNet.
You're welcome.
The TransitNet website has a transportation resources page with 7 main options. These are not town-specific, but statewide. Since we ended the last segment with mobility managers, let's start there.
Number 1, there are 4 mobility managers in the state. Again, a mobility manager is a resource person who offers information about transportation options available to individuals with disabilities, seniors, and veterans. And they identify gaps in service and help implement a new service where it is most needed. If you need help getting from point A to point B, it's best to contact them a few days before you need to travel. They also promote some services that have an application or interview process. It may take more than a few days to finalize some applications. So therefore, if you'd like to use a mobility manager for these options, please plan ahead. There is also a travel training program in the state provided by the Kennedy Center. It teaches individuals with disabilities and seniors how to properly and safely use the local bus and rail system in a one-to-one basis throughout the state. A qualified mobility instructor will travel with you to your desired location and will stay with you until you're ready to travel on your own. Please note, your residence and destination should be on or near a bus or train route.
Number 2, The Connecticut Association of Area Agencies on Aging, or C4As, are split into 5 regions and offer services to older adults. The regions are North Central, Southwestern, South Central, Eastern, and Western. Once you find out which region serves you, you can get more information about transportation and connect with others in your area. They also have a website with many other resources that would benefit older adults. Community Choices is split into 5 regions as well. Actually, they are divided up the same as the C4As and have the same 800 number. Community Choices is a powerful information hub linking older adults, persons with disabilities, and caregivers in Connecticut to the services and supports they seek. Their dedicated staff can connect you to everything from a name and phone number to more detailed information regarding community services.
Number 3, Google Transit. Google Transit offers you the option to add a, to, and from an address or location and plan out your trips. The main thing to remember with any mode of transportation is, again, to plan ahead. Google Transit will offer options, but you'll have an easier time getting from point A to point B if you're staying within a smaller area. And that area is more urban. In Google Transit, going to places within a particular city will be faster and easier, but going from a city to a rural area will not.
Number 4, CT Transit. CT Transit is the Connecticut Department of Transportation-owned bus service. Several other companies under contract to Connecticut DOT will operate services in metropolitan areas throughout Connecticut. By calling customer service at 860-525-9181, you can find out if your town has bus coverage and get the right number to call that serves your town. When you call the number that they give you, someone can help you figure out the best route to take. And finally, Connecticut Transit can give you information about options specific to seniors and people with disabilities, including paratransit info, reduced fares, and they also have their own online trip planner.
Number 5, paratransit van service. Paratransit van services are provided in areas with fixed bus routes for people who can't use the local bus due to a disability. If a disability prohibits your use of the Connecticut Transit bus, you may be eligible for paratransit van rides. This service is only provided in areas with local and fixed bus routes. If you don't have Connecticut Transit in your area, check your local bus service to see if they offer it. To apply for ADA paratransit eligibility, you can find the online application form at
www.ctada.com. Number 6, 211. 211 is a call center where you can ask about resources in your community. Dial 211 from anywhere in Connecticut and you will reach a trained call specialist who will assess your needs and provide referrals. 211 is available 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Multilingual assistance and TDD access is also available. 211 also has a website to search for these resources. It's www.211ct.org. Please note, nighttime is the best time to reach an operator. Otherwise, if you leave a message, it may take 24 hours for them to get back to you.
Number 7, CT Rides offers carpool, vanpool, bus, train, biking, walking, and telecommuting solutions. CT Rides helps commuters find the best way to get to work or school and offers information and resources for travel options throughout Connecticut. In general, I have found them to be a great information resource and call them when I have a quick question or a need or a phone number. They also have an option of leaving messages.
A few other options are CT Fast Track, which provides direct service to and from Waterbury, Cheshire, Southington, Bristol, Plainville, New Britain, Newington, West Hartford, Hartford, and Manchester. The CT Fast Track system provides a one-seat, no-transfer ride to many major regional employment, shopping, and healthcare destinations, as well as connections to the New Haven Line, Waterbury Branch Rail in Waterbury, and Amtrak service in Hartford. There's also the Connectability Program, which is part of the Department of Rehabilitation Services. It assists employers and people with disabilities by helping to remove some barriers, like inadequate transportation, to help people get to work. And finally, Dial-A-Ride. Your best option with Dial-A-Ride is to call 211, your senior center and/or mobility manager, and see if any services are available to you.
So what were some of the ways that the website was designed for people with disabilities and older adults?
Well, Leslie, there's many ways we designed the website for accessibility for persons with disabilities and for adults. We created town-by-town sections where you can find contact to people in your town and regions, and should be able to answer some of the basic questions. Our website has 2 easy navigation bars that follows users to each page step by step. Instructions that can be downloaded and help people use certain resources. We also created a survey to get feedback and help to improve our communication and website accessibility information, and upload the brochure so people can read and also download it and print it out for themselves.
Thank you, Carlos. You did a terrific job, and I know that you've also been involved with creating other websites like the People First of Connecticut and the Arc of Sellington, and we really appreciate all your help with TransitNet.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, Leslie. I appreciate it, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Next, I will mention some ways to start being proactive when trying to fill transportation gaps in rural areas. If your town has limited access to any public transportation, you can start a grassroots group. First, see if you can find a similar one in the state that can help you create your group. Meet as regularly as you're able and attend relevant municipal meetings and statewide transportation forums in order to network. Once you have a clear mission and know your needs, try to get on the agendas at some of these meetings to recruit support. Some of the next steps to develop a plan could involve researching grant opportunities, inviting your mobility managers to speak at your group, contacting state agencies like the Department of Transportation, the Department of Developmental Services, the Department on Aging, and others to see how they can help with involving the people they serve and those who work there. Once all of that is done and you've developed an action plan, one of the best things you can do is hold an educational forum, community event, or fundraiser to raise people's awareness and get more support. This also helps to let people know you're serious about making and implementing changes. A sampling of people to consider inviting include some of the already mentioned individuals and groups, and also the public and people who would benefit from increased transportation, members of the press, senior center directors and their members, local ADA coordinators, state and local politicians, local educators, social service agency directors and staff, your local council of governments, members and leaders of advocacy groups, transportation groups, transit professionals, and many more. Then just keep moving forward. Even if it takes a long time, it will be worth it. Well, that concludes our video. There is so much more we could have told you about Connecticut transportation, but if you start with these options, you can learn a lot and become more independent. Just remember, as soon as you think you've got it, it will change again. So practicing patience and flexibility will be a great asset to you as you navigate any transportation and information system. And finally, don't be afraid to ask questions. TransitNet's brochure, website, and this video offer lots of ways to reach out and numbers for you to call when you need help, and we'll hope you'll use them. From the Arc Connecticut and TransitNet, thanks and good luck.